Welcome, welcome, welcome to an exciting new episode of Wine Down with Kev. I am so excited today. We are in uncharted territory. Actually, we're in Las Vegas, but we are doing something that we have not done since the inception of this podcast. I'm surrounded not by one, not by two, but three boss lady business owners, the highest level at Allstate, real people that really do it. They're going to kill me for this introduction, but I got to give respect where it is due. So we're down here in Las Vegas at the CWC Business Conference, but I wanted to take a chance to podcast with them because they're each awesome in their own right. So we're just going to go round robin around the table, get to know them a little bit. Most importantly, I want you to get to know them, and we're just going to have a good time flowing and going with this podcast. So, ladies, let's talk about the conference first. Let's talk about how you've enjoyed your time in Vegas, what some of the big things are that you've enjoyed at the conference. Then we'll get into the business stuff. So, Melissa, you're right here on my right. Go for it first. How have you enjoyed this time at CWC Conference in Vegas?
Well, CWC in itself is always an awesome time. I have to give credit where credit is due because CWC is responsible for a lot of the training in my office that led us to the success that we have now. Being in Las Vegas, getting away from the agency and connecting with other agents, successful agents here, you can't put a price tag on it. It's just an amazing, awesome time. And I feel like I can just do it over and over again because every time you come here, you learn something new and it's valuable that you can take back. Even though you hear, all of these different 20, 30, 40 things, and you go back, you change one or two, it's so impactful. It's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Deanna, your second trip to CWC Vegas.
Yes. This is my number two. So excited to be here. CWC is a vibe, like you just kind of get into it. And one thing I heard today was like, we're family. And I stand on that, like we just come here and we meet with each other. I got to meet these lovely ladies and just now they're part of my family, so we're able to just connect with each other on such a deeper level, share our horror stories, share our successes together, be able to talk about, the realness of insurance, the realness of our families, and just being together. So, again, CWC was just a vibe, and I'm excited to come back next year and just learn all over again. So,
I love it. I love it. Katie, you and I have been doing the conference tour together. 2023, Cancun, then Vegas. 2024, Cancun, then Vegas. I forgot about Orlando last year. What's your big takeaway? How'd you enjoy CWC 2024 today?
So I absolutely loved it again this year. He is a huge, amazing support. I think it's a great family that I have to support me in growth and developing the agency and the team. And I'm so excited to take away things back to the agency to implement and start with the team. And I look forward to bringing more people next year. Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So everybody out there watching on YouTube, we just kind of started right away with the acronym. So if you don't know, now you know. CWC is Craig Wiggins Coaching. So big shout out to Craig Wiggins, Allison Donor, everybody associated with the CWC family for bringing us together today. So Melissa, you started off last time. I'm going to bounce to you down. I'm going to tell the people where you are and how long you have been in the business as an agency owner.
okay. So my name is Diana Newton. I am from I gotta say I'm originally from New York.
Yes,
I'm originally from New
Say
York.
that.
I gotta say that. But I reside in Texas, so I'm a New Yorker for life. But I live in Texas. I have an agency there. Actually, I have two agencies there. Dallas Fort Worth area, about 20 minutes from me. The locations are about 20 minutes from each other. I have been an agency owner since August of 2022. So I'm a newbie to agency owning, but this ride has been wild. So I feel like I've been doing it for, my whole life now. So It's been good. It's been good.
I love it. So 2 years. Happy second anniversary.
Thank you.
I feel like I missed that. I should have called you, congratulate you on that. But same question to you. How did you get started in the insurance business?
I moved from New York to Texas, trying to chase a big dream. New York is the city of bright lights, but Texas has a lot of opportunity. So when I was coming down here, I was looking, and honestly, I just needed car insurance. That's what it was. I
Wow.
was like, I walked into an office. A family member of mine suggested an office. I walked in, and the lady said, "Are you looking for a job?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." She goes, "I just need a receptionist." And I was like, "Okay." And I actually told her I was going to do it part-time. I said, "I'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays. I want to get acclimated to Texas." She was like, "Okay." Came in on Tuesday, answered her phones for a few hours. She came back out at the end of the day, and she goes, "Can you do full-time?" And I was like, "Oh, man, I don't know if I really want to do this. I've never worked in insurance. I just answered your phones." By the following Monday, she walked in with the licensing books and said, "I want you to get licensed."
I love it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good recruiting
Yeah.
strategy from you
Yeah.
not looking to part-time to
In like a week.
shout out to her
Yes.
for
So
really,
she saw something.
yeah, for
Yeah.
really reeling you in. So let me pivot to my left. Katie, same question. How long have you been in the business first? And then secondly, how'd you get started?
I started in July of 2008.
Wow.
So I had two young boys at the time. They were 6 and 3. I was getting divorced. And I was a stay-at-home mom. So I had to find work. I had to put food on the table. It was that simple. So somebody said, "Oh, you should get into insurance." I'm like, "Sure, let me take this crazy class," right? So I hopped in the class, went home, read my book, took my test, and passed the test. And then some guy calls me and says, "Hey, come interview with me." And I'm like, so I went and I met him, and he's like, "I need you to sell auto policies for me." And I'm like, "I don't know what that is." And I was like, "What are you offering?" He's like, $12 an hour. I was like, "I'll take it."
Wow.
2008. That's a
Right,
good number.
Exactly.
That's a good number.
And that's what got me started in it.
Wow. So that's how you got started. And how long have you owned and operated your own agency?
So I just celebrated my 5th year anniversary
Woo!
Woo-hoo,
Yeah.
this month. It has been a roller coaster ride, but it's been absolutely amazing. I couldn't ask for anything more.
I love it. I love it. I
Seriously,
love
yeah.
it. I like the real part about you being a stay-at-home mom and getting back into the game and licensing. I think that's a huge opportunity, but we're going to come back to that. Melissa, same question. How long have you been in the business and how'd you get started?
How did I get started? Okay, how long I've been, I started January of 2020. I got started because someone sent me an email on LinkedIn, and it didn't sound canned. It didn't sound like one of those automated emails. It sounds like that person just sat down and typed it out to me. And of course, I ignored it. But then he sent it again, like a couple weeks later. And I read it. I reached out to my brother, said, "What do you think about this?" He was like, "Girl, you should, think about this. This is a great opportunity." And that's really how I got started because that was in April. And in May, I was in licensing class.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, mark the time. January 2020, you get the email. The world stops in March, but you keep going.
Yeah. So January 2020, and I have a huge management background, for managing facilities. So in February, when we see, this thing is really serious, um, I was just telling the ladies, I was like, "Oh, I was saying it was the same as the flu." So we found out that it was not.
Right.
And I said, "Okay, we might have to shut down." So then we started looking into how do we work from home? Because that wasn't, so
Wasn't-
common back then. Spoke to the phone company that we dealt with, figured out our computer situation. And when I decided to shut down March 16th of 2020, we took our computers, we went home, made sure everyone was set up, and we didn't miss a beat.
Just pivot.
I think we maybe missed 1, possibly 2 days due to technology and getting that set up and running. But we worked the whole time. I was telling we were screaming at each other on the phone because we couldn't hear. There was static. We were working it all out, but we got it done. We did not shut down.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And Melissa, Katie, when I come back to you, I'm going to let you tell people where your agency's at. Where's your agency located?
I'm in Newburgh, New York. It's in Orange County. It's about an hour and a half from New York City. And my commute went from an hour and 15, 20 minutes to 10 minutes. I had to say
Yeah.
that. I had to say that because, yeah.
And I have to interject. My hometown is
Yes,
Newburgh,
just
and I was like,
Oh, God.
I said to her, I said in the car, I said, "What's up with this 845 number?"
it's like I'm a New Yorker.
And it's like, okay, because I said like 845. That's my area.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, Katie, I'm going to bounce back to you. But first, I want you to tell people where your agency is located at.
So it is in Metairie, Louisiana. That is the New Orleans metro area. So I am in technically what we call New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Now, is that said like somebody from NOLA? Or is
That is New Orleans. So, but it's right. It's actually right by my house. I am so lucky that I get to walk to work every day.
Oh,
my
wow.
Yeah, I get to walk to work every day.
Okay.
Talk to me in the comments. Who can relate to walking to work? I
Wow.
certainly can. So, Katie, let me come back to you for the next question. We talked about where you are, how you got started, but your immediate job, and I think this is really important for us to talk about because you said you were a stay-at-home mom. So some people might say that you weren't working, which I would argue with.
Yes.
I think it's the hardest work in the world. So how was it pivoting from your immediate job as a mom to a 3 and a 6-year-old? No, let me ask it differently. What skill sets as a mom to a 3 and 6-year-old were you demonstrating that went right into the workplace with you?
Oh, well, so I was actually able to really quickly learn because I could take on so much. I was a stay-at-home mom, right? Really boring, right? We don't do anything. Not true. That's such a challenging job for any person to do. But it takes every single day, and it's a 24-hour job. So I'm able to pivot quickly and do all kinds of things at once. And so that really helped me to learn the industry very quickly and be very good as an LSP, just to kind of build up and make a whole lot of money.
Yeah. $12 an hour, you heard? And so you're doing that, you're pivoting, you're studying, you knock down the test, you're learning it, but at the same time, you have a 3 and 6-year-old, so they're not independent. So you're doing both. You're learning a new business and you're learning how to balance work and family as well.
So I was doing that, and we did homework, and we did soccer practice, and I coached them in soccer, and I also had a second job at the same time. I was a soccer official as well, so I dragged them to the soccer fields with me, and if they got sick, they went to the office with me. So it just really helped me develop an awesome work ethic. So,
I love the conversation because for all of the stay-at-home moms out here that are listening to it, for all the agents out there that are saying it's hard to find people, you just heard a couple of stories of where people are at. So don't write anybody off. I've often coached people to say, look in the mom groups, they're superstars, and they just need an opportunity. Melissa, same question to you. You mentioned it only in passing, but let's talk about your immediate job prior to Allstate.
Okay, so I had a pretty big job prior to Allstate. I had spent 30 years in the car industry. Started out answering phones, giving out dealer plates, and then I built myself up to where I was the general manager of a Volvo franchise in Queens, Bayside, Queens. And I was the controller of 3 franchises, Mercedes, Volkswagen, and Volvo. So it was a pretty big job, a lot of responsibility. And it was a difficult decision to leave. It was difficult.
I can imagine. So let's give scope to big. How many direct reports did you have? How many people were under your leadership?
Oh, I when I left, we had 220 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 220. Um, and you miss the people. You miss that interaction because we were a family. Like we talked about at Craig Wiggins, we were definitely a family. And it started at the top.
Yep.
That came down from the top, and you miss them, but this opportunity was so amazing. It really was, because when I decided to make that leap, I knew I couldn't start scratch.
Right.
I'm not at that stage in my life where I could start scratch. But I did buy a very successful agency, which catapulted me to be able to do the things that we're doing today. So
love
that baseline was set.
I love it. We're going to catch up on what we're doing today in a minute. Deanna, you moved from New York to
Mhm.
Texas, not looking for a job. You
Not at
kind of
all.
they recruited you
Yes.
nicely. I love that
Yeah.
story. But prior to leaving New York, what were you doing?
So I come from a long line of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
My mom owns 5 daycares in New York. So it was big news for my family that I was like, I'm getting up and I'm moving to Texas. And they were like, no, you're going to work in the family business. Like, this is what we do. But I just wanted something new and fresh. And I knew I could get out of New York a little bit. Texas was warm. I'm not a snow person. I don't like the snow. So I was like, Texas might be a good place. Um, but prior to that, I have an education background. My mother's an educator. So I was following in her footsteps because I thought that's what we should do. Never thought I'd be educating in a different capacity, educating you on your risks and how to manage those things. So still an educator, just a little bit different.
And I'm glad that you said that because I think education is a big part of being an insurance agent.
Yes.
And I also see it. Help me with this one. Melissa, what's your favorite part of being an agent?
My favorite part,
Yes.
the freedom that I have.
Yes.
And again, being in the car business afforded me a livelihood that I don't know that I would have had if
Mhm.
I didn't have that experience. And I'm grateful for it every day because it taught me so many things.
Mhm.
Right.
But at this stage, I was realizing that I was missing my family. I was missing a lot of things and events that were happening. I was always missing
Mhm.
everything. And my family worked around my work schedule, which was all the time.
Right.
So they just did everything without me.
Mhm.
Went on vacations without me, functions without me. Now everything is
About you.
it's about me, you know?
Melissa, I love this. Go deeper into this before we just bounce around for the sake of bouncing. You mentioned the hour and a half commute, upstate New York,
Mhm.
down, 3 hour workday, almost like a part-time job commuting. What were the in-office hours in corporate? And then what's a typical
Um,
workflow for you now?
in office, I would try to get to work as early as I possibly could because there was always so much to do. Being a controller, that's the accounting aspect of it.
Mhm.
And then, the general manager part, which I didn't do for 30 years, but there were quite a few years that I did that. Then you're focusing on the sales and making sure you're getting to your objectives and you're making money and, managing the people, which we know
Yes.
that's a huge responsibility.
Yes.
I like what I do now. I love what I do now,
I love it. So let's,
you know.
I don't want to let it go without a number. You're commuting for an hour and a half. What time are you in the car leaving and what time are you back home?
I still get to the office early.
No, not now.
Oh.
Prior.
Oh, what time am I leaving?
Yeah, what time? Going to the dealership. What time are you leaving to
3,
get down there?
4.
And what time
Between
are you
6:30 and 7.
and what time are you pulling back in the driveway?
9.
9.
Wow.
That's a big deal. I had to put a number to that. I had to
Yeah.
put it all the way in perspective. So now when you say freedom's a broad word that we would all define differently.
Mm.
What time are you leaving home now and what time are you back home?
It depends, but I still leave the house about by 7:30, between 7 and
Okay.
7:30, because I get to the office, I check the mail, I go through things, I go through my emails because we all know
Mhm.
email
Yeah.
is huge
Huge.
as an insurance agent. So I go through my emails as much as I possibly can. So then that hour and a half before the day really starts, before everyone comes in,
Mhm.
it's precious.
Got it.
Mhm.
So but my commute is 10 minutes.
10
Got
minutes.
And you're back home at a decent time?
Yep. Most days I get home between 5:15 and 5:30. Some days when, I have a lot to do, it's 6:15 or
What if you happen to do? You've met the people that you live with? You have dinner with them now?
yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes. I know them by name.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I love it. Yeah, and the favorite part of being an all-state agent.
Oh, there's so many great things. I would say for me, I wanted to give this opportunity that was given to me to others. And I've spoken to Kevin about this in many different capacities, but I was a single mom and not by choice. Her father passed away. So I was able to build a legacy for her, and then share that with other single moms and other single people. So I've always had this love for taking care of people and showing them the opportunity. So that is my why I love it so much. And that would probably be my favorite part.
I love it. I love it. So herein we see the show up of the caring aspect of
Yes.
the daycare and care for
Daycare,
people,
yeah.
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
caring and taking care of
Mhm.
people and giving people an opportunity and relating and connecting people like yourself. That is a
Yes.
beautiful thing. No need to expand upon it. Well said, well done. Katie, favorite part of being an all-state agent?
My favorite part is that I've been able to take an opportunity that anyone can have, and I've been able to build it into something that I love and then I get to do every day. And just this amazing, I started with nothing and I basically built it into this firework. It just kind of went poof,
Yeah.
it just kind of catapulted, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just what I love to do. I've become very successful at it, and that's what I love about it.
Katie, expand upon it. Build this. I know exactly what you mean, but building something that's your own. I think that's just core, very American of people. We have the freedom.
Mm.
We have the ability to care and hire people. What when you say build this thing, what do you mean? Like I know you've grown a lot with your staff and the agency in the past couple of years, but tell me what building this thing for you. What does that mean for you?
For me, it means that so we can all do this. Anyone can do it.
Right.
So you can take something so small, and if you really want to do it and you envision it every day and you make it happen, you have to make it happen.
Yes.
You
Right.
can't wait for it to
Yes.
happen. You can turn it into whatever dream you want it to be.
Yes.
So, and I did. I turned this little thing into this huge dream, and I haven't really thought about it that much yet. I haven't let it sink in, but it's been an absolutely amazing opportunity that I was given, and I took it and I ran with it.
I love it. I
Does
love
anybody pinch themselves sometimes? Is this real? You know, like
Can I say
it.
something?
Sure, jump in.
You say that anyone can do it. I don't want to disagree with you,
but
but it takes a special person. Like when she walked into that agency and they saw something special in her. So there's something special in you
yes.
Thank you.
that makes you special to be able to do and make that fireball.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. Thank you for not letting that go.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is important because
Yeah.
it is special and we can make light of it and we could talk about all the positive parts, but let's be real. Let's go off script. What are some of the challenges, anybody, that people face that really are a surprise in owning a business? Because somebody is watching this, listening to it on a podcast, wherever they hear it at, they're going to think if they just go by the first 20 minutes we just shot that, oh, this is lovely, let me start. But let's talk about some of the things that were surprising that you ran into that you wish you knew before you started because there are challenges, there are real hurdles,
Oh,
there are
yeah.
real obstacles. So let's just jump in round robin. I won't even go.
Sure. I didn't plan correctly. So when I got in, I didn't plan for the things that could go wrong. I had a huge challenge. So I opened up this business. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm a business owner. I have so much free time. Totally wrong. I went back to school at the same time.
Wow.
So, and then while I'm in the middle of doing all of that, I got diagnosed with cancer. So I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? So that was a challenge because I didn't plan for any of that. And so I was like, well, I can quit, right? Like, so I didn't. I didn't plan for that. And then I also didn't plan for managing people correctly. That is so hard to do, to learn how to develop and coach and train people to get them to the best of their ability. And it's every day, it never stops. It's like a 24-hour job. Hey, what can I do today? And what can I do in the morning? And how do I prep for this every single morning to make sure that I'm working with the team to make sure that they're doing everything that they need to do to be the absolute best they can be every day?
I love it. I mean, I really love how you dived into it and got into the people component. And God bless you shared, the diagnosis, the recovery. So God bless that you're here and you're in a space where you are now. But those are real challenges. No person or entrepreneur, or even employee, plans on that type of diagnosis, but you weathered it. but you
Absolutely.
but you weathered the storm, and that's really what. How did you respond to those changes? What allowed you to dig in and say, you know what, this is happening. These are the things I have to deal with, but I'm going to deal with it and go forward anyway.
Well, so I'm a really competitive person, and I honestly, I didn't want to go home and tell my husband I failed or my family. I didn't want to fail. I could not go home and face that. And he would have been totally okay with it and supported everything. And so would have my family would have too. But I just couldn't go home and say I failed.
I got it. Your compelling why. The why. When the why is big enough, you always will find the how. When you shared that a little bit earlier, so Katie jumped in on the challenges and the surprises. So do share. Either one, jump in.
I had the experience of managing people. The challenge for me, okay, wasn't so much the people because it was definitely expected. It was, you know, being cut off at the knees with
Yes.
the guidelines for New York State. Well, let's start back. Let's start in January 2020. I'm like, great, excited. I'm going to do all these things.
All the things.
I know everything about, Department of Labor guidelines, how I'm going to run the office. We're going to have coffee. We're going to have snacks. We're going to do certain things. Then we roll around to March of 2020 and we shut down. We go home. And at first I was like, wow, okay, I can sell my house to recover from this if this does not work out.
Right.
Personnel, again, we're different,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of people like us, but not as many as we think. And I said, there is no way I'm going to fail.
I love it.
It wasn't. I was like, okay. We had conference calls every day.
Yes.
We communicated. I was in a little office, and remember, my daughter was in the 3rd grade at the time.
Oh, wow.
So we had a little room, and my niece worked for me at the time. So the 3 of us were in this room. My daughter's doing her schoolwork
Yes.
because everything is online
Mhm.
now, and they just got thrown into that.
That.
My niece is at a little dinette table on the other side, and I'm sitting at my desk. She's telling me I talk too loud. My daughter's not doing the paperwork right for the school, and it's like, and it got to the point where I said to my 8-year-old, okay, I'm not going to keep telling you how I want you to do this, but you better get it right. As long as you do it right, I'm good. And being able to overcome that's definitely a challenge. Then go forward, and the guidelines continue to change. Because even though we had COVID, we were selling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We were doing
well.
great. We were doing great. I was like, wow, made honoring.
Yeah.
Like, wow, whoa, right?
You're thinking,
Then-
this is easy.
I'm a worker. So I can get this done. Then the guidelines change, and they've changed for what is 2 years. Can't sell auto. Can't do this. Can't do that. But again, we made it work. We decided if I can't do this, so let's pivot.
Yep.
And we're going to do this. Oh, we can't do that? Okay, so we got to pivot again. Right? And that's what we continue to do. But those are the challenges that were shocking to me, because I did not expect that I wasn't going to come in here and kill it immediately.
Yeah.
I was going to be superstar number 1. Okay. And then, do not call, all those things, state of emergency, all those things are definitely challenges. There's more,
But I like how you identified the challenges and then how you pivoted and focused on different things on what you could do as
Mhm.
opposed to what you couldn't do. And what are some of your surprises, some of your challenges?
So my surprises came. I thought they came before before I bought the agency. I felt like there was a lot of doors that were closing. I was managing $12 million agency before I, was an agent. My name just wasn't on the door. And then when I came in to buy with Allstate, they were like, well, we don't know about you, and not that they didn't have they didn't know me enough, so they let me buy a smaller agency. So I was like, I'm going to show you.
Yes.
I am going to show you all those people out there that told me no. I'm going to show you.
Don't doubt you, right?
Right. And so I came in crushing it. And I think personally, there was a lot of fiery darts, that just kept coming at me. I got divorced and, okay, how am I going to navigate that? single mom again, how's that going to navigate? My daughter's a teenager, so it was like, I don't really like her that much, and rightfully so, she didn't like me either. So we just, we kind of weathered those storms. But like in the business side of it, I was just killing it, killing it, killing it. I loved it. I mean, like we're doubled in size in like 9 months. It was just great. My biggest challenge was I was an LSP. I was a staff member. So I was in there hitting the phones every day. Welcome to Allstate. Welcome to Allstate, But it was crazy. Like somebody came in and was like, hey, you're the agency owner. Like, you got to run this place. I was like, I just wanted to sell policies and wanted to still do that. And so I had to take a step back. And that was super hard for me to like let the phone roll over and train you on how to do it based on doing it myself. So that was probably my biggest challenge, to step out of the LSP role to the agency owner and start looking at it from above and down below and just saying, okay, these are the things that we can change. That's probably the hardest hurdle for me.
I love that you said the hurdle was learning how to work on the business instead of in the business. And Katie, I picked up what you were putting down. So also having a similar background in Anna how was that pivot from you? Because there's a lot of people that are going to listen to it. They're in that space, and maybe they're still in that space of, I know how to do this. I can sell better. I can service better than you. You made a mistake. Let me take it. How was that pivot for you?
So that was very challenging. I have finally let go. And so I actually set up all of my email rules and said, forward to this person. I don't have to forward anything anymore. And I said, you know what? If it doesn't work, it's okay. If you make a mistake, that's okay too. We'll fix it another time, or hopefully you'll bring it to me when it's fixed. I was still answering the phone. It's a great day at Allstate. Ooh, somebody's not getting the phone. Let me do the quote. Let me write the business. Let me do the service. Let me talk to claims. But when I got more into understanding that the best that I could be at my role is to allow everyone else to learn, and if they fail, it's okay. And then I can actually run the agency like I'm supposed to do and figure out how to bring more opportunities to the team to make more money as well. So now I'm actually running the agency, but it took me a really long time.
Tough.
That's a beautiful thing. Go ahead if you want to add something.
It is. It is tough to, it's our baby, I think about it like that. Like Allstate started to be my baby, August 22. We're still infant, and I was like, when you're a mom, you don't want nobody can do it like you can do it, right? That's how you feel. And it's a mindset like, oh, I can do it. And I used to do that. Somebody be on the phone. Oh, just send them to me. Send them to me. Oh, I know them. Send them to me. And you just can't do that, so you have to kind of state it back.
Yeah, I finally, when someone says, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, I don't know. Find that person. That's where you need to go. I don't know answers. And so now they're figuring out how to do it all on their own. And that gives me time to do what I actually need to do every day.
Did you use your resources? That's how
That's a great question. Let me know when you find out the answer.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to pick up with you, Katie. We're going to come back around. How have you changed or grown in the past year? So we've talked about the business. So that's the rolling question. How have you changed as a person to make you a better leader in your agency?
So I had to learn how to be a leader. I had to learn how to develop staff, coach staff, and train staff. I had to, and that was a huge challenge for me because I was so used to doing everything, because they can't be their best if I don't teach them right. So I did that, and then I had to figure out, okay, well, I have to have expectations, and then I have to figure out, so I would set expectations, but I wouldn't train or develop anyone. Not a good idea. You set them up for failure every time you do that. So I actually had to take a step back and say, so the problem really isn't the agency. It's right here.
Yeah.
So I spend so much time learning how to develop myself every single day and on weekends too, so that I can be better equipped to go in and develop the staff every day.
There's a famous quote. I don't know who said it. That's a beautiful answer. Is the greatest project you'll ever work on is yourself. And for you putting the mirror there and looking at yourself as opposed to others, that's massive growth. Listen, I'm gonna set the same question up differently. Knowing being in New York with you and some of the changes that happen outside of our control, how have you changed or grown as a leader in the past year? So I know one thing for you that's really important is before you do something, you really need to understand it. So let's
Mhm.
talk about some of those areas that you grew in and knowledge and things of that nature. Anything else you want to add or take away?
Well, so that is definitely important for me, especially in the insurance world, because I mean, I knew the car business.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, I knew it inside and out, you know. Um, but then you talk to me about insurance, I didn't, you know. And if I asked a question, if you couldn't answer it, I was going to find the answer because I need to know how to do this. You
Right.
know, and I did go through that where let me do it. And the only reason I did that was because let me do it. So I know
Know how to do
how
it.
to do
Right.
this, which has really been beneficial to me because there are times when, you know, I'll give an LSP the day off or, you know, and I'll be able to step in and sell the policy, but that's not what I do.
Right.
You know, that's not me answering the phone. And they take value in me stepping back because what I'm working on is going to benefit us all,
Absolutely.
you
It
know?
brings in more for everybody to eat, so
It
the whole
does.
family does well.
It does because if something's changing, you know,
Mhm.
guidelines change or whatever it may be, they want me to be focused
Right.
because when the agency succeeds, right? They all succeed.
Mm.
Almost
So,
rise. I
yeah.
love the
Yeah.
answer. Same question. How have you changed or grown in the past year?
For me, it's really been going from an LSP to an agency owner and personal growth. Like I just thought that I was gonna come in here and be the top salesperson. That's what I thought. And I was like, I'm gonna just kill it. That's what I love. That's my jam. And then, reality hit in and it was like, no, there's all these you have 400 emails that you have to answer, that have nothing to do with selling a policy. So somebody told me along the way, like, your job is no longer to like sell policies. Your job is to take care of your staff and take care of marketing and make sure that that's running on a high level so that your staff can do all the things that you've done for the last however many years. And so I just tried to embrace that. I've read a lot of books. I've done a lot of self-reflection. I've really been developing me and trying to find who I am in this new world of entrepreneurship. Because I didn't know. I just thought this was going to be a job. And then I realized that that's just not what it is. It's a lot more.
So I
It's a
can pivot,
lifestyle.
but I don't want to. I want to leave this question because it's just a thought I have about you. Do you feel you've gotten stronger and tougher in the last year?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My thought process is different. I think that I love everybody and I want everybody to succeed, but I can't want it more than you want it. And so, because my vision and background is that I want everybody to do what I did, I want you to get in here and I want you to be an agency owner one day. And they're like, I'm okay with being a customer service rep, and which is fine for some people, but I can't want it more than you do. So I've gotten a lot more thicker skin. I'm faster at making quick decisions that benefit the business. I even started changing my mindset when I would say, "Well, I'm your boss." Well, like, no, the agency is your boss. Like, like making different decisions and changing my wording so that it wasn't like I'm the one helping you, it's the agency's helping you. What are you going to do for the agency? Not for me, because I will do anything for you, but the agency can do this. So just changing your wording, mindset, things like that. Definitely thicker skin
I
than
love it.
a
I
year
love it.
ago.
You're almost referring to the agency in third person as if
Yes,
I'm
Right.
not the
I'm
bad
not
guy.
the bad
Right.
guy.
Right.
It's the agency.
Right.
All right. So let's pivot to one of my favorite subjects, which is everything digital and AI. Katie, I'm gonna start with you on my left. Let's talk about your growth in just digital space or automation and AI. What are some things you're doing differently this year that you may not have been doing a year ago?
Okay, so I cheated a little. So I started trying to learn AI a little bit last year, and I decided, well, actually, I brought on someone who is young. I brought on a 23-year-old. Um, just didn't think it would really work out. Come in for a couple months. Well, this person is absolutely brilliant at
Nice.
technology.
Nice.
So I said, Here you go. And that is what I'm doing with AI. He does all of our technology. He does all of our new business hiring and onboarding. He's able to help me weed everybody out using AI. He helps me with our marketing spin using AI. So he develops all of the AI strategy for us.
I
That's
love it. I
awesome.
love it. I love
What
it.
a
So you did
find.
have some insight here. Um, and I love that you point out the age of this person and the skill sets
Mhm.
that he brings to the table. I think this person is also helping you with your CRM and just introducing people to your
He-
customer relationship management system
So
as
he
well.
actually, yeah. So I don't do any of it when someone comes on that's new. We have a process in place that once I put him through MMS, he developed all of my processes for me. He even put little links that all I have to do is click a link to take me to the site that I need to go to onboard everyone. And he put everything where I needed it to go. He does all of the shipping. And then so when another person comes on, he spends time with them and he develops them very quickly in our lead management system. So I know within about 2 or 3 days if they're going to be a great fit for the agency. He does everything. And then after they get done with that, he teaches them how to use all the quoting sites because I don't like to do it. It's really slow for me, because I'm just like, which is not good for training. So he goes step by step by step. And then once he gets done with all of that, then he kicks it back to me. And then I get to do the part that I love, which is talk about coverage and nuances and how to close. So
Okay.
he does all of that.
Nice.
It's a beautiful thing.
That is.
That is a
That is.
big change.
Mm-hmm.
Les, the same question. How have you changed with technology? What are you doing different in your agency this year or AI that you weren't doing like a year ago?
ChatGPT.
Okay.
That's one thing. I have a couple of companies that I'm actually dealing with. When I opened in 2020, I had a advertising agency that did my online presence at the dealership. So they worked with me a little bit, right? So my Google presence was always pretty good,
Okay.
but we needed to go a little deeper,
Okay.
right? So I hired a couple of companies that I can basically say, this is what I want to do. And they'll say, okay, is this okay? Yep. Nope. Make changes, whatever. So and it's worth what I'm spending.
Yes.
I don't have to think about it. I come up with maybe some custom content that I have an idea, but I just send it to them. I'll send them pictures or whatever it may be, and they take it from there. And it really, I mean, they're even answering some of my survey questions. Depends on the survey. If it's a good survey, they answer. If it's not, I get involved to find out what the issue is. But that has saved me so much time because I take surveys very personally. When I first started, the ladies that were in the agency, they were like, "Why are you so crazy about your surveys?" And I'm like, "Because they mean everything." Do you
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
When you
Right.
go and you're looking, you're shopping for
Mhm.
something, do you look at your surveys?
Yeah.
Do you look at the survey for that
Yes.
place?
Yeah.
If it has are you going there?
No.
If you have bad reviews, or not. So I take them very personally, but they have really made a big difference as far as social media, um, the advertising, my Google business page. So I really,
I
I'm
love it.
really excited about it.
And I love the different answers. I love that you did it in house. I love that you outsource it.
Yeah.
Outsource it. There are no blue pills that there's one approach for everybody. So, yeah, the same question.
Well, it's so funny because I'm doing a little bit of both.
Yes.
I have someone who is young. She has a huge following on TikTok. I mean, I'm not a TikToker or social media. Facebook, and I'm like, add me. I don't know. But she has a huge following, and she does a lot of content in our office and gets the staff involved, so she does that side of things, and so we've given her access to kind of do that. And then I hired some advertising companies to be able to do some like AI things and just some advertising. And then, Chat GPT is my best friend. But I've been really utilizing AI for more of coaching and training, like taking the script or the phone call, transcribing it, loading it in, and say, hey, give me talk points, give me,
Wow.
pointers on how to coach and train this into a better call, and it does it. I've even used it for marketing, like zip codes and things like that, where I've taken like one set of zip codes, that maybe my carrier has given me, and then versus what we have sold and quoted, and said, hey, here's 2 lists. Tell me what the best zip codes are. And then it'll go through it and tell me the top 10 zip codes. And then that's where I'm marketing to, instead of going to this program and that program and trying to figure it out myself. It's really helped me to make those decisions faster. Or what are my not so good zip codes, and then I'm able to pull quickly what's not working. So I'm using it a little bit different as far as like on the marketing and the sales side of it.
I'll be calling you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's what this for us to help each other. So digital, AI, and now let's talk about social. All you guys are really different with social. As I look to my left and to my far right, I know both of you have done some headshots with your staff and
Yes.
things like that. I know it's on the radar for you. So let's talk about social. Where are you now? What are you doing? And maybe what are you working on? So I'll start with you and we'll come around.
I actually pretty good with posting on Facebook. I mean, I found this life insurance site that they post stuff, and I just copy it and paste it.
Nice.
That's really all I do, and it depends on what it is. I'm very selective in what I post, but I get pretty good response rates.
Yeah.
I've gotten people that say, "Hey, talk to me about my life insurance and how I would need to plan for my future." Sure,
Sure.
bet.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That was easy. Like,
You get that from, oh, wow, I didn't even think anyone noticed that. Thank you very much. And that's really about it. And there's certain things like today, we posted the live. And to be totally transparent and honest, it was the very first time I'd ever gone live.
All right, so for the audience, there was at the Craig Wiggins Coaching Conference, there was a speaker that suggested that they go live, and you went live.
I went live.
And you turned the camera towards you.
Turned the camera towards me. And I was like, let's grow. And then I turned the camera around, and the lady was sitting next to me. I said, say hi. She said hello, and then we spun it around. And then I was like, ha. And then I disconnected. Who knew? Okay. Everybody was like, hey, Liz, how you doing? I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Who knew? Now I'm going live again sometime soon.
Yes.
Yes.
And I blame that guy that told us to go.
What do you take from that experience of just going live? What does that tell you about what people want to know from you?
I think people are just interested in seeing, what am I doing?
Right.
Yes.
Not because I'm that important, but it's like I don't really post like a lot
Mhm.
of personal stuff. I'll post my daughter going to school. I'll post something about her. She gets a lot of hits
Yeah.
if I post something about her. Something about family definitely gets a lot of hits. But I think that people want to know, what is she up to? What are they doing? How is she succeeding? I want to know.
Yes.
And I still have a pretty huge following from the dealership. My brother went to buy a car yesterday, and he calls me last night and he says, Melissa, they're still talking about you. I was like, really?
I love it.
I was like, did you get a car? Make sure you buy a car. But I think that's really, 200 people, 220 people. And I think I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook.
And that's 220 people saw you live today.
At least.
All right, so process that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
All business owners, insurance and otherwise, you have a story that you want to tell today.
Mm-hmm.
What other methodology could you have done to reach 200 people in a 1-minute recommendation from a stage? The answer is there are none.
No.
Okay. Yanni, Katie, same question. A little bit different. You both guys did something similar with your team and with photos, and you're blowing them up. I want to ask you about social. I want to ask how you feel about it. How does your team feel seeing themselves with the professional headshots in that light that they're posting about? So
I am super camera shy. I just
I don't eat it up. Come on.
I need
Yes.
you inspired me by
Yeah.
that, because I didn't when we were told to go live. I took a picture. I didn't go live.
I was like, okay, how do we do this? And Marlene next to me said, just scroll down hit live. I said, whoa, here we go.
I was like, photo,
Yeah, no. Once you do it a couple, you'll be fine.
So I just don't, that's not my thing. And I'm working on it because I know how big it's getting. And I know that just by posting organic things, and how many people are sharing and liking those things. Could you imagine if I actually turned on my video,
Yeah.
But with the headshots, I believe that when people feel good and look good, they just want to post it, and they feel good, and they're going to do well because they look and feel good. So that was the thing. I was like, I'm going to bring in this guy. We're going to take headshots. We're going to take group photos. I want him to capture the rawness and the realness of my agency. I know, like, we're always like, what we do is so important. We've got to have fun,
Yes.
So that's where I bring it in. He comes in and he takes pictures in my office at an event, and we always try to utilize him to take like professional headshots at that time. So, and then they post it. And then it's theirs, they're able to use it for their own things. And I notice all my staff have it as their like Facebook profiles and things like that. So it's good.
Elevation. Shout out to Jordan Boyle. Am I saying his last name
Yes.
correctly?
Yeah. Jordan Boyle.
Shout out to Jordan Boyle. Love it. Katie, same question. Social. How have you grown? What are you doing different?
Wow. So I will say, I'm also very camera shy. So my agency website didn't even have a photo on it for 4.5 years. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah, so I'm like, that's perfect. It's different than everybody else, right? So we did a group outing in New Orleans, and did headshots. It was a great event. Went had a lot of fun and did all of these professional photos. And then of course I had someone else upload everything and put it all together for me. Casey, absolutely amazing at it. And the feedback that I've gotten just from that, they're like, oh, she's like a real person.
Yeah.
There's a picture there. And even during, the hiring process now, everybody's like, I went and checked you out on social media. I want to
Yes.
work for you. Your website is amazing.
That part.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I want to work for you. I love your website.
That part. Telling a digital story allows that, but let me not lose this moment without shouting out Casey Cooker.
Yeah.
Correct pronunciation?
Yes.
Yes.
Outstanding. Big shout out to Casey for what she's doing with all of those things. Amazing. But that virtual story that you're telling, the pictures, the headshots, the fun, where you went to eat, that's what people want to know. They want to know, what is this really all about? Like, okay, insurance, wake me when it's over. But when they see you as people and what you do, they want to be associated with. And that goes both for staff and customers.
Yes.
All right. Bringing it on down. 1, 2, 3 in your order. What advice do you have for people that want to join the insurance industry? Each of you shared your own unique journeys and background stories. But what do you have for that person that's resumes out there on Indeed, maybe a job changer like you, maybe someone relocating like you, maybe a stay-at-home mom like you? What advice do you have for them if they want to join the insurance industry? What would you recommend? How to get started? And
Do it.
Yeah.
Take the leap of
Faith.
faith.
You give it a try, right? You give it a try, and it can go one of two ways, right? It can either work out or it doesn't, but it's very likely to work out,
Yeah.
and even though it might not work out the first time,
Right.
right?
Or the way you want
Or
it.
the way you want it,
Yep.
right? Don't quit,
No.
go back, because then you're going to say, wow, you're going to look back a couple years down the road and you're going to say, wow, I didn't think I could do that. But guess what? I did that. I had my fireball, right, Katie?
Yes.
And my fireball. So give it a shot. Definitely give it a shot.
So my comment to it is, tell me a career, because I don't like to call this a job, because this is a career.
yes,
Tell me a career. You don't need a college degree. You basically work 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, usually weekends if you need to, that you can make 6 figures. Tell me one.
bang.
There's not many out there. This is it. And we're essential. COVID proved that.
Yes, that's right.
We did not skip a
That's
beat.
right.
We were in our offices. We were helping customers, because catastrophes and risk, fires, car accidents, they don't stop. They still happen. So we were essential. And I mean, honestly, I pinch myself sometimes, like, is this real? Because you would never think that, that you could make six figures in an industry like this. I started as a receptionist. I'm living
Great
proof.
place to start.
2 days a
Great
week.
place to start.
2 days
Right.
a week. Katie.
I would say that regardless of who you are, if you're willing to take that leap of faith, you can turn it into a career
Mhm.
and you can take it anywhere. It doesn't matter where
Right.
you are. You can go anywhere with it. You can live anywhere you want. If you have a family or children, you can make six figures with your children right by your side.
Right.
You can do it at home. You can make it fit within that schedule so that you can go take them to school. You can pick them up from school. You can go to games. You can go to any extracurricular activities. And you can do all of that and make a lot of money. So why not?
I love it.
Yep.
A beautiful combination of time and money. Okay. Last two questions, one at a time. So, are you hiring? And if you are, talk to the camera right now and let it be known 30 to 60 seconds exactly what opportunities you have in your agency. Restate your name, where you're located at, and what you're hiring for, because I want someone that watches this YouTube video. If they're talking to you, comment below. And let's go also, when you talk about it, let them know whether you need them in office in New York, Texas, or Louisiana, whether you're open to remote. So that's something else that we didn't really talk about. So let me give you an example, and then I'm going to let you guys go and do your thing. So if I were hiring, which I always am, I would say again, closing this video, my name is Kevin Spann. My agency is based in Middle Village, Queens, New York. Right now, we're looking for people that want to have a sales career in insurance. So if you're willing to take the leap of faith, get a license, and learn a new career, not a job where a college degree is not required, but you can learn and work your way up to earn six figures, call me. I'm Kevin Spann. Reach out to my agency, look me up, and you'll be happy to work here. That being said, whoever wants to go next, pitch your agency commercial. 1, 2, 3, go. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My name is Diana Newton. I have 2 locations in Central Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dallas side, and the Tarrant County side. I'm looking for vision chasers. I'm looking for someone who wants to take their career to the next level. I'm looking to have somebody who wants to have fun, but also wants to wants to hustle. So I'm always hiring on the sales side, and this really any opportunity, service, sales. I'm always looking for talent and people who are go-getters. So if you need something, you want to take the leap of faith, we'll gladly take a look at you. So reach out to me.
My name is Melissa Evans. My office is based in Newburgh, New York, Orange County, about an hour and a half from the city. I am looking for a hustler. And it makes me think about that song. I'm a hustler, babe.
Just want you
That's
to
what
know.
I'm looking for. If you're a hustler and you have a great work ethic, it doesn't take someone that's a rocket scientist. It just takes someone who is willing to learn every day, and open to learning, because that's what we do. I'm learning every day. I don't know everything there is to know about insurance. I learn every day. Give me a call. You won't regret it.
Outstanding. Let's go.
So my name is Katie Cheek. I am in Metairie, Louisiana. I am always hiring. I am looking for someone who can fit within a great team dynamic. I want someone who is motivated, driven, hungry, and wants more in life. So if you are stale in your current work role, or you're looking to start a new career and you just don't know how to get there, we have a great opportunity. I hire remotely in multiple states. We have a great team to help develop you to get you to where you want to be. So if you're looking for something more than what you currently have, give us a call at 504-455-1234.
I love it. I love it. Let's give it up for everybody on their commercial. Boom, boom, boom. Preston, drop some bombs right there. Everybody, everything was fire. So party people watching, listening to the podcast, wherever you are, wherever you're consuming this podcast, Do me a favor. I'm not sure, but I believe that for each of these ladies, this was their first podcast.
Yeah.
Please put some positive comments below. Tell them what a great job they did. Follow them on social, look them up online. If you want to take advantage of any of all the opportunities, reach out to them, follow them, see what they're doing, and see if you'd be a good fit within their agency. So that being said, I'm just going to go round robin for closing comments. Anything you want to share that I didn't ask already, and we'll wrap it up. So I started with you, Melissa. I'll come back to you. We'll end with Katie. I'll close us out and we'll call it a day.
So I want to go back to the headshots. So I had someone come into my agency and do headshots, and they're pretty amazing. But they're two people that are just, I can't make them happy. And I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know what to do because they're just not. It's them, honestly. Because
About the
I'm looking,
photos is the problem.
yeah.
AI. Let me tell you,
See,
my
I'm gonna call them.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
So you take the headshot, and there's plenty of AI generators. All my actual photos on my website for Allstate are all AI.
Oh,
No
okay.
blemish. My hair's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's
it's
what I wanna
amazing.
do.
So try that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
tell me
All
to
right,
get a
good.
photo, and
I will-
you can do that.
Yeah. Okay. See,
Anything else you want to share about you and your agency to close out the podcast? Closing thoughts.
I want to say that I am grateful. I am grateful. I don't even know. I can't come across on this camera to tell you how grateful I am for what I have and where I am right now. Things happen in life. Things happen in life. You're like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Yeah, you know what? I sort of have a different mentality. I might get upset or concerned because something's happening, but it just takes you to a different place in life and you're continuing to grow and move forward. And I'm just thankful for everything that I have. And I'm thankful that I'm able to spend the time that I can with my family now. There's nothing that I can't put a dollar amount on it. There's nothing more valuable than that time. And that's all I have to say about that.
I love it. I love the clarity, emotional rawness of it. Well said. Yana.
Well, thanks, Kevin, for putting me on the spot and, allowing me to do this podcast with you, because this is not my forte. But I mean, I'm just so humbled. I never thought in a million years I would have even one location, now 2 locations. The growth has been so exponential in 2 years, and it's only up from here. I'm so excited to see what, 2025, 2030 is going to, hold for us. And shout out to CWC for, bringing us down to Vegas and allowing me to meet 2 new best friends. And, so I'm just so humbled and honored to be in this opportunity right now. So thank you again.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Katie.
I am truly grateful to have had this opportunity. So I spent the last about 2 years with CWC. They've been this amazing support and family to help me really develop myself to be great at this. I have an amazing life all through insurance, right? It's amazing. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be today. I have an amazing family, but through what I'm doing in the insurance industry, it's just catapulted my life. And I get to spend so much great time with my family and enjoy I wake up, I'm excited to go to work every day. So, and I couldn't have done this somewhere else, So I absolutely love what I'm doing. So thank you, CWC. Thank you, Kevin, for being
Yes.
this dynamic, amazing role model in my life. And of course, thank you to everyone, my family and my team.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
Kevin doesn't want the spotlight on him, but
You
can't avoid it if
Yeah.
it just follows. Okay. Okay. And I just wanted to say that. And we are very thankful.
Yes.
Because you know that you have been very impactful in our lives. And that's all.
Thank you very, very much. So, real bad closing here. The rule of thumb is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We're going to violate that. So,
Yeah.
what happened in Vegas, it's going to be all over. It's going to be on YouTube. It'll be on social. It'll be whenever you consume your podcast at. Listen to it, look at it. If you love it, share it. If it's for you, that's great. If something that one of the ladies said resonated with someone that you know that's looking for an opportunity,
Yes.
go ahead, connect, and reach out. Until the next time, thank you for winding down with Kev. Please click the link below, like, subscribe, and share this content with your family and friends.